Hello friends, welcome to another episode on Fantasy War Tactics. Today we want to touch on some things that beginners should know, some beginner tips mainly on the type of heroes you want to focus on, as well as the kind of equipments you want to invest in. So first, let's talk about very quickly about the heroes. The first heroes that you get to have access from is from the story mode. Under the story mode heroes, there are 3 heroes you want to really spend time on. Maybe 4. Okay, now if you like Kai, you should focus on Kai. He's awakenable. If you like Momo, you should invest in Momo. Especially for Jack, he is going to be important even in late game. And last but not least is Healer Mass. Okay, so these are the 4 that you want to focus on for story mode heroes. Of course, there is always Chris, and you can get Chris genes from the lab. Let's take this first. Okay, so Chris genes can be from the unknown genes. You get unknown genes from exploring in the world map. So out of these characters, everybody is going to be useful at one time or another. So you can invest in Chris in particular, okay, if you want to focus on somebody. Now let's very quickly talk about the equipments. Now, equipment wise, you can see that 6-star equipments are the best to go for. For different heroes, they have different types. That means you should use different equipments on them. For Chris, for example, he's a defense type. You can see under her name, that's a shield. So she's a defense type. So you want to build on her defense and maybe her HP best. Now, in all of the equipments, there are only 3 of each for each accessory. So for example, for weapon, there is only swords, which increase hit rate and attack. And then there are, I think, hammers, which increase attack and counter damage. And then there are bows, which would increase critical rate. I think this is a bow. Nope, this is not a bow. Okay. Where's bow? There are not a lot of bows here. That's a surprise. Okay, so is this a bow? No. Yep. So bows that will increase crit rate. So these are the 3. For Chris, you can probably put on hammers on her, but the most important one is her armor and her accessory. Armors, same thing. There are going to be 3 different armors, which is this kind of armor where it increases HP and defense. That's the one you want most of your characters to be with. And then there is shield, which is with HP and counter rate. And then there are shoes, which is HP and dodge. So you want to make sure that Chris is putting on some armor. And last but not least, the accessory wise, there is rings, which increase your crit rate and hit rate. There is I think necklaces, which includes attack and mastery. And last but not the least would be brooches, which increase HP and defense. So in the beginning, you probably don't have a lot of sets to play with, so you want to just make sure you equip her with the right things. Eventually you're going to get more sets. You're going to get 6-star sets where they have increased bonus effects, and then you can equip them with full sets, and it doesn't really matter as much what kind of equipments you put her on. But in the beginning, when you get equipments that doesn't have bonus, you want to make sure that you equip her with the right things. Okay, so you can skill up all of these equipments, okay, just by clicking on enhance, and it will go up. Okay, if you have enough material, you can press on guaranteed enhancement. It will bring it to +9. You enhance this once more, it goes to +10. And then if you put 2 +10 equipments together, you get +11. And if you put another +10 equipment to the +11, you get +12, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can upgrade your equipments, but I don't recommend upgrading anything less than 4-star. Okay, so 4-star equipments are worthwhile upgrading. But other than that, I think you can just save your gold and your resources. So for Chris, you want to equip her with those. defense type item, it doesn't really matter as much for her critical rate and so on. She has a passive right here which gets enemies to attack her more often than anybody else, so you want to build her on defense. Okay, the other thing that you want to consider for equipment wise is, let's see, let's go to a hero. This Tewa is my favorite hero, so let's talk about him. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to max out his mastery. At the bottom you see mastery. The maximum mastery you can get is at 100%, which is at 10,000. So everybody have base mastery of a certain number. So for example, Tewa's base mastery is actually 7,600. So you want to add on at least 2,400 more to make it maxed out. So this is about 2006, so that mastery is going to max out Tewa's ability, so that works. Okay, so mastery, why is mastery important? Because whenever you attack a hero, you hit them at 100% every time when your mastery is at 100%. If your mastery is at 80%, then there is a chance that when he attacks, the attack only does 80% of the damage. So that's why you want mastery to be at 100% as much as possible. And then there's critical rate. Right now the critical rate is at 83%. That means if you hit someone 10 times, out of the 10 times, probably 8 times is going to be critical. You want to make sure critical rate is at 100%. So how do I do that? How do I make sure that his critical rate is 100%? You equip him with you basically want to fill him up with the bow, which I talked about before, and then it will be 100%. So let's see, where is my hero? Yep, so I would just do this, replace, and now if you take a look at Tewa again, he should be at 100% because this adds a critical rate. Okay, let's see. Yep, so she's now at 100%, and yay, so this is fine. Okay, other than those two items, you want to make sure that she has adequate defense. So most of this is going to be HP and defense. You can see this is HP and defense, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the basics that you need to know when it comes to character building. If you like the video, if it helped you, please leave a comment or subscribe, and then I would know what to put out more. Okay, thank you very much. Talk to you next time.